So we'd like to just begin with a little bit of orientation for everyone. Can you hear me okay, everybody? Okay, welcome. So I'm going to start by just reading through kind of our normal standard orientation to practice intensives. This will tell us a little bit about what to expect. And then just to orient you a little bit to the space as well, for those of you who've never been on site, the back bathroom is a little slow, and so you might prefer to try the hallway first. It does work, but if it's not flushing very well, just hold it down for a minute and that should work. Coats and, well, who needs coats right now? Good grief. But if for some reason you might, if it's cold, AC, they go in the back closet. And there are purses and, any personal items, wallets, phones, stuff like that on that back shelf. And I think we pretty much showed everybody. All right, so here we go. Practice intensives are intentional experiences for exploration and for deepening our practice. We come together to support each other in a simplified way of living so we can open our awareness fully to our life and our path. Part of that experience includes giving ourselves permission to experience and work with whatever arises in the context of our practice. There will be opportunities to meet with a teacher each day to help clarify your practice. The schedule for intensives is rigorous, but manageable. It's designed to challenge our notions about our own preferences and limitations, and to allow us to settle into deep silence and stillness as a form of inquiry and discovery. Some Appamada intensives are residential at retreat centers, and other are local, like this one, where participants return home each evening. You can find out about all the upcoming intensives on the Appamada calendar and through the email list. So what to expect? Silence is maintained except for practice discussions with the teacher or group inquiry or answer aloud questions. So it'll be clear when there's a Dharma activity and you're invited to speak. Typically, there are 2 Zazen periods with walking meditation in between, followed by some kind of activity, a meal, an inquiry period, a work period, or a tea break, for example. These activities are a continuation of our practice in mindfulness, not a break from it. Food is simple, wholesome, and vegetarian. There are snacks available if you become hungry between meals. If you have any special dietary needs, please make sure to let us know so we can arrange accommodations. Like if you're highly allergic to peanuts, let us know right away because we will be putting out peanut butter. And I just want to say, for those of you who are online, you also have the opportunity to prepare yourself wholesome meals and use this time as a bit of a turning inward rather than the focus on food. So if you have a chance, you can prepare it in advance. We will be sharing an intimate space, whether you're online or in person. So please be mindful of keeping the area around your seat neat and clean. Often at night before we leave, you can see all my mess right here. I'm going to tuck this under my zabuton. And if you're at home, you can do that too. Clean up your sitting area. You will see at least one teacher each full day of the intensive. What that means is you'll see Kim once and me once. And the schedule is posted either on the refrigerator or in the back room. Any topic is fine and meaningful for practice discussion. And please use this precious time of meeting wisely. So I think what we mean by that is your life is your practice. So bring any questions that you have. Nothing is too small or too great. Be considerate of others around you as we're supporting each other and being supported in this practice together. And then we'll also engage in simple chores to help with cleanup in support of the whole intensive. That'll be a work period. That'll be called out specifically. And those are times for us to practice our Zazen while working. So how to prepare for the meditation periods? Strong practice is developed in stillness. Please try to sit as still as you can for 30 minutes. If you have to sit for shorter periods, or if you've been sitting for shorter periods, one way to prepare is to begin by adding 1 minute per week to your normal sitting period leading up to the intensive. If you need accommodations or if you have limitations, please do let us know. We're here to make things doable for everybody. And if you're confused about how you should be practicing, or if you have struggles or difficulties, please do discuss this with one of us, Kim or myself. And if you're not sure if another intensive is right for you, like if you're already thinking of the next one, please feel free to ask questions about that. So what to bring: a sweater if you think you might need that. I'm laughing at that because I'm burning up right now. Any special seating that you need. So you're welcome to bring your own cushions or use the cushions that we have. And just to point out, there's a bunch of cushions right over there. You can feel free to adjust. Like I have 2 and I have these little pads under my knees. So you can play with whatever support you need to help you maintain a seated shape more easily. And the way that I think about that, and we can probably get into this more in the yoga periods, but I think about filling any space between myself and the earth with a little bit of support. And that really helps me sit longer without pain. But you'll find your own way. Let's see, what else? Comfortable clothing. Please do wear things that we'll be able to stretch in, as we'll begin with some movement in the mornings. And that said, if you're at home, you don't have to bring a yoga mat. We'll use these, but if you want to, you can. But if you're at home and you have a yoga mat, please feel free to set that out. Let's see, what else? Any prescription medication you might need. Sun hat or rain gear. I don't think we have any rain in the forecast, but if you'd like to bring a hat or sunscreen, we will be taking walks for the practice discussions and also for maybe some of the activities. So feel free to bring something if you need it for that, for sun. And also I would add to this list a sack lunch. I don't think we're going to mention that later. So if you didn't see the emails, go ahead and bring yourself something to eat tomorrow. Kim has offered to lovingly prepare some rice and beans. I think they sound delicious. And, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what that grimace was, but and I've made some tofu and cucumber, kind of a cold salad. And then we have always way too much food on the tea table. So you might not need to bring anything, but go ahead and bring what you need. And we do have vegetarian food here in the Zendo. Trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say to the online folks about that. Let me know if you have any questions. Wish we could send you all the delicious rice and beans. All right. So afterwards, what to tell others about the intensive. Other people are likely to ask you, how did it go? What did you think? Tell me what you learned, stuff like that. Depending on their genuine interest and closeness to you, obviously your response will differ. It's very difficult to convey the essence of this profound experience. In general, though, it's best to keep an explanation simple. I usually simply say that this has been a time for me to step back from a complex daily life and spend some time in peace and quiet. Most people have no trouble understanding that. Your life will manifest whatever you have learned. Wow, I love that. I don't think I've ever heard that before, even though we've read this many times. Your life will manifest what you have learned. Please continue your daily practice, clarifying and fostering whatever you have experienced here. One last thing that I want to mention, I'll be offering some practices from this book, Hidden Zen. So if you have any questions about anything that I offer, or if you'd like to take a look, I'll have this book for reference. Can you all see it online? Hidden Zen by Myodo Moore. Happy to answer any questions about this book as they arise. What else did we have? Okay, so now we would just like to ask everybody to pair up. So online, if you'll go into breakout rooms of 2 or pairs, and everybody just turn to someone next to you, maybe somebody you don't know. So yeah, Ava and Dan, if you could do that. There we go, those 2, 2, 2. Okay, it looks like me and you. Okay,
How long,
and
Jessica?
yeah, okay, so how we're gonna do this is, and you can feel free to spread out in the space because it might get a little loud in here. But we'll talk together for, what time is it, John Eric?
7:14.
14, okay.
Wait until 7:40.
Let's talk for 10 minutes. So take time to introduce yourself to one another. And then we're gonna do what's called a loving presence check-in. And all that means is when partner A is speaking for roughly 5 minutes, just talk about whatever you're present to right now in your body, in your life. And partner B, listen with some amount of looking at this person as an inspiration. And then you'll switch. Partner B, same thing, just checking in, just saying how you are. Partner A is now listening and observing in a way that you're finding some inspiration. It could be that person's smile, it could be something they're saying, it could be the light in the window behind you. But just offer your presence to the speaker. And don't forget their name. So if you need to ask them to repeat it back 3 times. That usually works for me. And then we're going to introduce each other when we come back into the room. So there will be a test. Okay. And if you don't remember their name, it's okay, because they probably do, I think, hopefully.
So just one thing, you'll be paired up with the biggest diamond in the world.
So the question is, when you leave for practice discussion and you come back to your seat, do the people on the other side bow? And Kim's answer is no. So you don't need to. The way that I was taught is you actually don't have to bow when you come back to your seat either, because you're not leaving your practice when you go to discussion with your teacher. But if you go to the bathroom, bow again. All right. And if you do it differently, nobody is going to probably even notice. And it is just fine. Just keep practicing, keep bowing.
And I think it's important that if you make mistakes, that's a practice for everyone else. You know, how are you when not everything's the way you want it to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're giving a gift.
Well said. So we're going to go around and introduce our partner now, and say, just if you want to, you can say just a little something you noticed about them as you were taking them in, as you were feeling inspired by them. Not something of the content that they told you. That's confidential, right? So we want to maintain confidentiality in intensives as well. So anything somebody shares with you during this weekend, you don't want to go and share with other people. But you know, maybe something you noticed about that person, like they seemed tired today, they feel bright, you know, whatever you notice. So I'll start. My partner is Kim Mosley, and I noticed as he was speaking about something, there was a really like joyful, playful almost look in his eyes, and I really enjoyed that.
And I'm Kim, and what I noticed about
And
Jessica.
excuse the interruption, can you pass the microphone around, please?
I'm gonna switch to this mic.
No,
Okay.
we can do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got it here, and we'll pass it around. It's not in our conversation 5 minutes ago, and I told Jessica that I'm terrible at following rules, but Jessica sent a text the other day. I'm so excited about what I have to give in this thing, and it's like someone giving a gift and just being so excited that they have this gift to give and what they've put together. And so that enthusiasm was just wonderful to hear.
So I I spoke with Ava, and I noticed how at ease she felt and how vibrant she was, and it made me feel at ease as well. It was really, really great speaking with her.
So I spoke to Daniel, and the time that we share fly by quickly. Daniel has this incredible bright smile that really warmed my heart instantly. And so I'm not sure at this point whether I just describe how I feel about Daniel or I just talk about what he shared or just pass the mic.
That was beautiful. What you just said was absolutely beautiful. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
So I talked to Brian, and he's been practicing a while, and I was impressed that he wants to go deeper in that respect. And I was also impressed that he's willing to be very vulnerable and talk about things that maybe are not that easy for him, and a sense of modesty also.
Everyone, I talked to David here and noticed like just his like deep sincerity about practice and kind of open curiosity about what the experience here will bring. So I'm excited to kind of share that experience this weekend.
I spoke to John Eric, and what resonated the most with me, and I don't think he would mind me sharing this, was that he said that in a way he was here to catch up with himself. And I thought that was just perfect, and that it really resonated with me.
And I spoke with Yogita, and I was struck by your curiosity and just openness to a new experience. And also, she noticed the light that's not there right now. That was just there for a moment, and it just captured her attention, and she spoke to it. So I appreciated that moment.
Okay. We actually had one group of 3 and 2 of us, and I will start to get the ball rolling. I had the joy of finally, after so many times of being online with Jean, of getting to actually speak with her. And we spoke of myriad things. And what I loved so much was her smile. And when she was talking of myriad things, what it all came down to was her description of 2 hummingbirds who were not the least bit interested in eating, but just dancing. And she described that, and that's already made my whole weekend, so.
I'll go next since I'm Mala's partner. And it was a treat to actually be in a room with Mala. I've never been one-on-one, and I didn't even know where she was. So it was fun to know where she is. And just the challenges she's facing now with pain and how she faces it, because I'm a wuss with pain, and I have so much respect for her that, and even to do this intensive, it's just amazing. Thank you.
Was there a third person in y'all's triad?
No.
There were just two of us. There were three in the other group. So the other three boxes you see were the people in that group.
Oh, okay, great. Nelda, you want to kick us off?
So even before we spoke, I had this just boundless feeling of delight spending time with my friends Lisa Judge and Becky, who's in Vancouver. And Becky is, she sang for us, as you all know she does, which was just an immediate connection with our practice, the beautiful, may our bodies be at ease, may our minds be boundless, may we awaken together. And so that set the foundation. Becky shared what she's been through beautifully, frankly, without spiritual bypass over the past several months, in losing a friend and helping that friend through his last days before he left his body, and things going on in the assisted living where she lives, in her own journey, and how things get tangled up and how she unweaves them with practice. So that was just so touching to feel truth. It was truth, it was honesty, and it was practice, talking all at the same time. And Lisa, dear Lisa, I rarely get to see her in person, so it's always a delight. And what I heard Lisa talk about is how many people she carries in her profession and her family life every day, and every day pours herself out to others and is here to get some nourishment. And I just know to continue to pour herself out to others. And so I so admire that and I applaud that. Yeah, just love them both.
Let's see. I don't know exactly how to do. Well, I guess everybody. So Becky, do you mind going next and just introduce us to Nelda and Lisa, and just a word or two about their impact on you?
Well, I was just like thrilled to see them because they're people that I haven't seen much recently and certainly haven't interacted with. And yet I've known each of you for over 5 years now. And I just treasure you. And it's always delightful to be together again. And we had some common things to talk about. And as you all had ended up to, is that dealing with pain is one of the things that we were talking about. So I think that we're all at the right place today. So, and Lisa.
Yeah, it was just very nice to spend time with two kind, warm-hearted, intelligent people who are trying to stay honest about what they're experiencing.
Sorry, trying to do multiple things at once. So I spoke to Jess, and Jess talked about, I mean, it's always nice to talk to Jess. And he started out by saying he is just really ready to sit and looking forward to sitting. And both his body and his mind need this upcoming time to sit. He had a long night due to some unplanned events. He got very little sleep, and he wasn't as productive today as he wanted to be. He's going to delight us with a talk on Sunday that he hoped was going to be further along, but he'll get it done. And he's going to delight us later tonight. Because he's leading us in the refuges in Pali, and he was telling me about that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Jess, what did you find inspiring as you were speaking with Manuel?
Yeah, so I spoke to Manuel, and I think I mean, the quality of your listening, and what was inspiring to me is really, I think maybe Lisa what Lisa said is talking about our life and our practice, and the way you kind of summed up in a few minutes, kind of a practice edge that you're working with. And so that was inspiring.
Thank you. You want to keep the mic since you'll be doing the refuges later, and I'll
Oh,
I'll
okay.
pass this one to John Eric because I believe now we'll do some Zazen and some Kinhin. Yes.
Kinhin for 5 minutes and then Zazen.
Okay. Would you, as you're setting us up for Kinhin, just walk us through a little bit about how to do Kinhin?
Mm-hmm. So we'll now do what's called Kinhin, or walking meditation. And this is something we'll do periodically today and through the weekend between sitting periods. And it's a chance to stand up, get the blood back in your legs, and transfer the mindfulness, the meditation into a walking practice. And so we have some clackers that I'll hit in a moment. And maybe I'll just walk us through the clackers as we do it. Yeah. Prepare for Kinhin. So everyone space yourselves out evenly as best as you can.
David, if you don't mind, move that chair. Everybody use the whole space.
We want to be moved, we want to be equal space between us.
And actually, go ahead and put the chair where you're going to land, because after Kinhin, we'll go into Zazen. Yeah, so everyone move up. And so everybody sort of look around and try to evenly space yourselves.
The only one who doesn't move is John Eric. Yet.
So when you hear the first clacker, we'll begin moving as a group together slowly.
And we'll walk around the edges of the cushions. This is also a time when you can use the restroom if you want. And you just bow out and then go.
That's the signal to return to your cushion. Prepare for Zazen.